We're at New Hyde Park now, and that looks like an Airbus 380 getting ready to land at Kennedy. We're at New Hyde Park now. Got an eastbound diesel at 356. Yeah, we're at New Hyde Park, which is a real popular train watching spot on the Long Island Railroad's main line. And you're looking at the star of the show here today, but it's a fading star. That's the New Hyde Park Road grade crossing. And after today, there will be no more trains passing over that crossing. Starting Monday, they're going to close the crossing permanently and start construction to dig an underpass under the right-of-way. This weekend, there'll be no trains going by as they're shutting the line down between Floral Park and Hicksville for triple track construction. And there's another British Airways plane coming from London. That's a 747. Comes a westbound M3 over the crossing. We got an eastbound Huntington train departing behind me. And those people will be walking across that crossing for the last time, as far as rush hour commuters go. Comes a westbound M3 over the crossing. We got an eastbound Huntington train departing behind me. History in the making. They're making preparations to close this crossing, but it's still open. They're not going to close this officially forever until Monday. But we're going to get the last PM rush hour, in fact the last day of trains, period, over this crossing today. January 31st, 2020. Got a westbound at 405. Got another westbound at 408. And approaching at 412 is train 656. Blasting through from Hunters Point Avenue to Port Jefferson with a nice K5 LLA horn to boot. Well, here in New Hyde Park, I'm here with a couple of buffs. Got Alex on the left, and we got Joe Strapple on the right.
Hey guys, the end of an era.
Both have their own YouTube page. We all have our own YouTube page. We're here to watch history unfolding. Who's sorry now? Oh boy. Another crossing bites the dust. When is 12th Street going to be taken out, I wonder?
I'm not sure. I think it's going to be, it's not going to be around for much longer. I know that much. Probably. What do you think, Alex?
I'm thinking next year, maybe.
And then School Street in Westbury.
In the same year, I would say.
Oh, okay.
I think what's going to happen is I know that Mineola is going down this summer.
Oh.
So I'm assuming this is going to be down in the spring.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that would be my guess.
Well,
It's
get
very
them
sad.
while you can. All right. Now take a look at the new Hyde Park station that's been around for many years. Today's the last day this is going to be used. After today, it's going to be shut down. There's nothing on the weekend. They're going to tear this thing apart for the triple track project, and starting on Monday, February 3rd, they'll be using a new temporary station on the west end of 12th Street. And this is the new Hyde Park station. This is going to be dismantled. Massive construction in this area starting next week. Here's the inside of the new Hyde Park station. This building is going to be history.
In Maryland, we never see anything like this.
Got a westbound deadhead at 427. He'll be blowing for the soon-to-be defunct new Hyde Park Road crossing. Yeah, this is the town of New Hyde Park, New York. Not to be confused with Hyde Park, New York, where Franklin Delano Roosevelt is buried. And not to be confused with Hyde Park in London, one of the big parks of London. And the famous thing about Hyde Park in London is they have a place on the corner there called Speaker's Corner, where you can stand up on a box and talk about anything you want to anybody. There's no limit to the topics of discussion there, and I know what I'd be talking about when I'm there, but I don't want to get political. And an M3 racing east. Well, for now, you still have two crossings here. You have 12th Street to the west and New Hyde Park Road to the east. The Covert Avenue crossing further west was closed last spring. We're standing just to the west of the 12th Street crossing, and you're looking at the temporary station here at New Hyde Park that'll go into service on Monday, February 3rd. The original station is going to be torn up and it's going to be totally reconfigured. I got a westbound deadhead move at about 447. That crossing looks very ordinary. It's been around for a long time. You think it's going to be around for a long time to come, but after today, no more. They should have gotten rid of these crossings years ago. This is an extremely busy line. Like all the construction workers that were here have gone home. They'll be back with vigor on Monday. And approaching at 4:50 is train 558 en route to Oyster Bay. You'll be blasting through here. Train 658 en route from New York to Port Jefferson, blasting over New Hyde Park Road crossing for the last time. And we got a westbound at 5:03. An M7 moving fast. And 555 from Oyster Bay to Jamaica should be right behind them. At 5:05. And here comes 555 from Oyster Bay at 5:05. Next up at 5:14 is train 2778 en route from Hunters Point Avenue, Long Island City to Patchogue.
Attention customers, please plan ahead. This Saturday, February 1st, train service will be suspended between New Hyde Park and Hicksville due to switch installation. To avoid for details, pick up a special Saturday timetable or visit
521, this should be train 2062 to Ronkonkoma. Looks like M3s. And approaching at 5:27 is train 660 from New York to Port Jeff. with a K5LLA horn on the point. Taking it kind of slow through here. Here comes 655. .528, that was train 655 en route from Port Jeff to Jamaica. Well, at 5:30, this is train 2350 from New York to Farmingdale. Stopping in New Hyde Park to let out his passengers and then go over the crossing for the last time. And this is train 2350 from New York to Farmingdale making his New Hyde Park stop. Big excitement here tonight. A lot of rail fans hanging around. Oddly enough, they're not hanging around here where the crossing is going to be defunct after tonight. Next up at 5:34 is train 560 en route from Jamaica to Oyster Bay. Trains are going kind of slow through here, and I'll tell you why. There are a bunch of rail fan kids on the west end of the platform kind of disrupting things a little bit. And the police were called, and trains were given slow orders to proceed through here. Irresponsible rail fans make it awfully difficult on people. Here comes 662 to Port Jeff. And 2740 to Spionk should be right behind them. And next up at 5:45 p.m., the gates are going down on New Hyde Park Road. Some of the last times these things are going down. They've been very much overworked over the years, these things. Approaching now is train 2740 from New York to Spionk. He's going kind of slow behind 662.
Yeah.
for New York approaching and another eastbound coming. Eastbound was 1726 from New York to Huntington. Eastbound at 557. That's a hot one. That's train 2066 from New York to Ronkonkoma. First stop is Wyandanch. And at 6 o'clock, both tracks are being used for eastbounds now. Got an eastbound on number 1 track.
Attention customers, please plan ahead. This Saturday, February 1st, train service will be suspended between Hyde Park and Hicksville due to switch installation. To avoid
Train 1728 from Atlantic Terminal to Huntington. Another eastbound on 2. And that last express was train 1730 from New York to Huntington. We got 3 Huntington trains in a row, very close together there.
Arrive on track 1, platform A, in approximately 4 minutes.
608, we have another eastbound on 1. Approaching at 611 is train 1256 on number 1 track. Runs from New York to Hicksville. Makes New Hyde Park and all stops to Hicksville. It's got M3s tonight. And 1256's head end is stopped right over the New Hyde Park Road crossing. You note the lights are out on the car. There was some pretty spectacular arcing there. Here comes another eastbound. Quite a bit of arcing there. You notice the power was going on and off in the car. Next up is train 562 from Hunters Point Avenue to Oyster Bay with Joe V at the throttle, and he's going to do some extra horn blasts tonight. Yeah, he put on quite a show. Next up at 6:20 is train 664 from Hunters Point Avenue to Port Jefferson. Nice horn on him. All right, that concludes our visit to New Hyde Park. We say farewell to this new Hyde Park station. It's going to be torn up and rebuilt. And especially farewell to the new Hyde Park Road grade crossing.